On the arterial 26, 2024. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, but first we want to get right to the forecast. Looking like one of those top 10 days out there today.
Oh, easily. We got low humidity set in stone. We got plenty of sunshine moving in. And this is not only going to stay for today, but potentially for the whole weekend.
Ooh.
So any plans for late July? Great summertime weekend set in store. Let's take a look outside first across central New York on our temperature map right here. You can see upper 50s in Rome, low 50s in Hamilton, and we're seeing a few passing clouds from the north, but these clouds will diminish as we head throughout the late morning. Currently 61 Westmoreland, 56 Little Falls, 57 Inlet to the south, 52 Sherburne, 54 in Cooperstown. And a live look at our, of course, great sunrise camera in Oneonta early today. Sun still below the horizon, but of course will be the case as we head into the next few minutes. Live radar, we're seeing quiet and dry conditions at 5:01 this morning, and our next 12 hours favor sunshine and temperatures in the upper 70s. So again, we're looking at nice weather today, and this will linger into the weekend. We'll of course have a lot more in details about this forecast for the weekend straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget, Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Utica police have released
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Our final day of the work week, and it's shaping up rather nicely as you take a look at our Munson CommuteCast as you get you set head to the door this morning. Again, we're looking at quiet conditions here in downtown Utica, and besides that, there's really nothing expected today that will impact your morning or evening commute. We've got dry conditions, quiet conditions, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and even across our traffic tracker, we have no incidents to report of early this morning. And so again, smooth sailing heading into the door this morning. We got temperatures in the 50s and 60s, sunshine, and the sun will linger as we head into the afternoon with, of course, low humidity and temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. We're tracking what you can expect for any weekend plans in that forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The Central Association for the
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Friday is here, and we're starting out the day today with temperatures in the 50s and 60s and a few clouds passing over the city of Utica. Let's take a live look outside right now on our Nexus camera. But this will not be a common sight for today as well as the weekend. This is just an isolated cloud layer coming from the north, especially from what's coming off the lakes of Lake Ontario at this point. But following this, we'll see temperatures, again, starting out in the 50s, climbing into the 70s by this afternoon. Technically muggy, 55 officially, the dew point, but again, throughout this weekend, even though a dew point will be noticeable, it will not be that high. Matter of fact, with the nice weather today, lower humidity, lots of sunshine, go ahead and leave those windows open as you head out for work. Let your house get some refreshing air, turn off those ACs, and just enjoy the great weather we'll be experiencing for today. And a live look at the Airflow Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are noticing just some light green, which is of course interference with the radar as it's getting a bit more sensitive. But you notice when we turn the time lapse on, you can actually see the slightly north wind moving into our area. That's of course why we are seeing low humidity and quiet conditions today. And Boonville and Oneida County Fair in full swing today into the weekend, as well as some other events, including the monster truck event going on in the Herkimer County Fairgrounds and other events here locally. Go ahead and support local businesses, support local events like this, because we got great weather, upper 70s to near 80 degrees today, lots of sunshine and dry conditions. And that sunshine, of course, continues into the weekend. 84 the high Saturday, 87, 88 the high Sunday, and 5-star ratings for the weekend days for both of the weekend days. And so in our Skycast, we're starting out with temperatures in the 50s, climbing into the upper 70s by this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. Great weather this evening if you have any evening plans. Then tonight, lows fall back down into the 50s. In fact, some spots might reach the upper 40s. So this will be a refreshing night to leave those windows open before we warm back up into the upper 70s near 80 degrees by Saturday. A few more passing clouds, but still plenty of opportunity for sunshine. And then again, overnight lows on Sunday starting out at 57, 55 degrees, climbing back into the 70s. And so your 7-day forecast, we got, of course, this great stretch of weather the next few days. Weather turns a bit more warm as you approach Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, along with the humidity. And we'll start to see a better shot for rain as we approach Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. But for now, we're talking about the final weekend of July looking 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's looking like it usually would. Upper 80s.
Yes.
And humid and rain. Alrighty.
Well, that's later on.
Later
For
on
now,
in the week, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Eric. Later today, the River Seine in Paris will host the Spectacular 2024. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm obviously not Gary. I'm Ben Kinney, who's in for Gary today.
And I am obviously Eric Gage. No name change today.
No, status quo for you.
Yeah, but the one thing I can say is that we are changing from active weather to quiet weather starting today.
Good to hear.
We've got sunshine moving in after a few clouds early this morning. In fact, let's take a look outside. First off, across central New York, 59 in Rome, 52 Hamilton, a little warmer in Syracuse and Watertown, both checking in with 63 degrees and a few passing clouds. But as we take a look at our great sunrise camera in Oneonta, we are looking at, of course, the twilight in the distance, unobstructed view of the sunrise, which will take place later on this morning. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Quiet and dry conditions early today. And as Ben mentioned, yes, we're talking about a top 10 day of the year. Yet again, and I am not ashamed to dish out these top 10 day alerts because I do enjoy nice weather. I'm sure a lot of you all enjoy nice weather with temperatures in the 70s and low humidity. And this quiet weather will stick around not only for today, but also into the weekend. We'll talk, of course, a bit more detail about that weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone. We are taking a look at our photo of the day today, and a lot of us were treated to a great sunset yesterday. I was at Sylvan Beach yesterday and also saw one. I might share it, my photo later on in the broadcast. But this one was taken by a viewer in Kirkland. Taken by Chelsea. Of course, great photo right there. The sun was very red and orange as it went down the horizon yesterday. So again, great photo. If you'd like to submit a photo like this one, send it to the link right there on top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. Well, the tornado count in central New York has gone up to 22, and this could still not be the latest number just yet. The official rating, or the official tornadoes that were included in the last two were in Oswego County and in Fulton County. And there will still be more surveys planned. Again, this is an unprecedented level of tornadoes in central New York. And a reminder that I know some of you are wondering if your area saw a tornado and it wasn't surveyed. It's a single team in 3 different areas, all in either Buffalo, Albany, or Binghamton, and they are working as hard as they can. So just a reminder that these are folks that are going well out of their way to go and survey damage, and there might be some spots that don't see a survey due to the amount and frequency of these storms and what normally would have been a much easier time for surveying. So again, these folks in the Weather Service across the state are working very hard. But back to the weather today. We got nice weather. Of course, no severe weather expected for today or even into the weekend. We'll, of course, talk about the forecast in detail straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Happening today, County Executive
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Friday is here. The weekend is just on our doorstep, and although we're looking at a few clouds in Utica, we're seeing clearing from the north. Northern wind bringing in that low humidity. In fact, take a live look outside where we're seeing that very, very brief, thin cloud layer near the ground here. But of course, that will likely not obstruct what will be a beautiful day today, with temperatures going from the upper 50s, low 60s, up into the 70s by this afternoon. Still technically muggy, dew point of 55, but for late July standards, that's about as low of humidity as you usually get with quiet conditions and with that north wind. And with that lower humidity, I think it's great weather to open up those windows before you head out to work today. Leave them open, let your house get some refreshing air from the outside, air out the house. And on top of that, you might even leave it open tonight for great sleeping weather with, of course, refreshing conditions overnight into early tomorrow morning. A live look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're seeing quiet conditions all across the region. A north wind, which you can see very faintly with the interference moving a bit to the south on our radar scans. But with the nice weather today, I think it's great weather to go out to the Boonville and Atlantic County Fair, as well as, of course, the monster truck event taking place at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, or the Taste of Lebanon. Any of the events this weekend. You got great weather for us. Take advantage of this too, with temperatures in the upper 70s near 80 degrees, sunshine, and low humidity. Now the humidity will climb a little bit as you approach Saturday and Sunday, but still dry weather across the board, 80-degree temperatures, and 5-star ratings for both days. This is a great end to July. In fact, it's surprising that following Wednesday, we're now in the month of August. This month has just flown right by. And now looking at our Skycast, well, we're seeing temperatures this morning in the 50s and 60s, climbing into the 70s by this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. And by tonight, overnight lows will fall back down to the 50s. I wouldn't be shocked if some locations fall into the 40s. And then we'll rebound back into the 70s by the afternoon, approaching near 80 by Saturday. Great weather, a few passing clouds, but the area will remain quiet and dry. Then, of course, overnight lows tomorrow night in the 50s, going back into the 80s by Sunday afternoon. And so your 7-day forecast, we have a spectacular stretch of weather for the next 3 days. Warming up to the upper 70s upper 80s, I should say, by Monday, and then a better shot for rain showers as we approach Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, along with higher humidity. So we're back into a typical late July pattern, starting roughly by July 30th, 31st, then heading into August 1st. So again, this is the last weekend of July.
Wow, I just can't believe that.
And
where's the summer gone?
Well, one thing though is that yesterday it was so windy and the humidity was non-existent. It felt weird that it was
fall.
Late July.
Yeah.
You don't think that with the temperatures we saw, but
Wow.
That was the case. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, Eric. Let the games begin. We're just hour 24. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Ended off the last show saying that'll do it for the Live at 5 News Hour, saying good morning at 5. You can tell I haven't had my coffee. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage. And, I'll say this, you're bright and early in the morning. Probably got up at what time?
3.
3, yeah, same. So don't worry, we're getting through this.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. A lot to get to, but first, the most important thing of the day, the weather. Looking perfect out there.
Yes, nice weather expected today. We got a few clouds rolling through early this morning, but we got sunshine this afternoon and top 10-day weather expected.
Awesome.
Let's take a look outside across central New York. First on those conditions, currently 60 in Rome. Few passing clouds, but these are not going to be a common sight today as a lot more sunshine moves in. Notice a lot of New York State reporting sunshine and 50s and 60s to start out the day. And here's a live look at Oneonta as the sun is just starting to rise above the horizon. A great shot right there. Of course, one of my favorite cameras that we have here at News Channel 2. A live look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Quiet and dry conditions all across the region. And again, this morning, temperatures starting out in the upper 50s, low 60s. We'll climb into the upper 70s by this afternoon with top 10 weather expected. And this nice weather will continue as we head into the weekend. We'll, of course, talk about that weekend forecast in a lot more detail straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget, Storm Tracker 2 forecast, it's never more than 10 minutes away. Utica police have released
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. It was a great shot of the sunrise on the CAV Tower camera. And of course, this Friday, looking pretty nice. We'll take a look at that on our Munson Commutecast as you head out to work this morning. First off, you can see, of course, in the distance, the sunrise, but dry conditions. A few clouds moving through our area, but these clouds are, of course, not producing anything in terms of rain showers. And a live look at our Munson traffic tracker. Well, it looks like before I went on air, there was a stalled car out in Syracuse. But it looks like we have another incident that just popped up. It looks to be along I-90. So I'm going to take a look at that right here. Any of that information coming in just right now. There's a crash on I-90 eastbound at exit 34 near Peterborough Street. So again, this is the accident location. I'm going to zoom into it right now. This is, of course, is in the eastbound direction. So those of you heading out to Syracuse should be okay if you're heading westbound. But again, here's the accident location right now. But besides that today, quiet start. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s with clouds giving way to sunshine and then plenty of sunshine by this afternoon with highs in the upper 70s. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The Central Association for the Blind and Visually
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are starting out with a few passing clouds, but dry conditions, and that will be a common trend, not only for today, but potentially through the entire weekend. Let's take a live look at downtown Utica right now. We're seeing that very brief cloud layer from the north, but a lot more in terms of sunshine moving into the area. Currently, conditions are at 60 degrees, although a little bit muggy, dew point of 55, but by late July standards, this is actually extremely comfortable dew points across the region. With the weather today being pretty nice, in fact, 10 out of 10 on a scale of how good the weather is, I think it's great to leave those windows open as you head out to work today. Air out your house, bringing in that cool, refreshing air, and even temperatures today climbing into the upper 70s won't be too hot, so you don't need to run those ACs either. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Quiet conditions here locally, and with the radar scans of time lapse for the past hour, you can actually see that north wind supplying us with that cool and refreshing air. With the dry conditions today, I say it's great to go out and visit potentially the Boonville and Oneida County Fair. Today with temperatures in the upper 70s near 80 degrees, plenty of sunshine, low humidity. And although humidity will be on the rise as we head throughout the weekend, there are also other planned events across central New York this week, including the monster truck event at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, all sorts of local festivities, and you couldn't ask for better weather. We got 80s both days, sunshine, and noticeable but low humidity. 5-star ratings for both weekend days. And to our Skycast, we actually don't have too much to talk about with this. We've got sunshine moving in today, temperatures in the upper 70s near 80 degrees. The only thing, though, is that tonight, with that cool, refreshing air moving in from Canada, overnight lows will fall down into the 50s, potentially upper to mid 40s in the highest elevation. So it'll be a pretty comfortable and refreshing night tonight. Then we'll warm back up into the upper 70s, low 80s by tomorrow for Saturday. A few passing high-level cirrus clouds, but the area will remain entirely dry, and that will continue for Sunday into Monday, and then humidity starts to ramp up as we approach Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, and of course a better shot for showers and storms. I feel like a lot more like a typical July or end of July weather stretch, but again, right now we're talking about beautiful weather at the weekend. Any weekend plans, there couldn't be no better weather you could expect.
Yeah,
so
I guess so. Wow. And then back into the upper 80s and then low 90s.
And the humidity returns again too. So
Of course it does.
yeah,
Knew there was a catch there somewhere.
it's a fine print.
Yeah, just always have to read that. All right, thank you very much, Eric. Later today, the River Seine in Parrot. It's Friday, July 26th, 2024. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Top 10 day on the books to start the day, and it's going to be a top 10 day. Perfect weather to get out to the Boonville Oneida County Fair for sure.
Yes, I know some, at least a few days this week, a few showers have rolled through. Not the best fair weather, but today, yeah, we're talking about great outdoor conditions. Let's take a look at those current conditions out there this morning. And we're starting out with temperatures in the 60s and 50s. 60 in Rome, 50 in Hamilton, and I know some of you probably looking out your window seeing a thick cloud layer out, at least in the Utica, Rome area. However, it's the only cloud layer in pretty much all of New York State. Lots of sunshine everywhere else, and don't worry, that sun is going to peak out within the span of the next hour or so. Currently upper 50s, low 60s in the Mohawk Valley, Oneida County area, up into the mid 50s in North Country, Southern Valleys, 50s as well, 52 Norwich, 53 in Cooperstown. A beautiful shot of the sunrise. Let's take a live look at Oneonta right now from our camera atop Hartwick College. Some fog out in the distance, actually. You look in the bottom part of your screen right there above the QR code. And some locations, again, seeing some patchy fog, but most of us remaining entirely fog-free. Radar is quiet at 6:32 early this morning, and the next 12 hours favor beautiful weather. Top 10 conditions with highs in the 70s, and I will always enjoy dishing out top 10 day alerts whenever we have them. I know this month we definitely need it. It's been quite a busy month, and although we already set a record with 20 tornadoes in the month of July, we'll have an update coming up in a few minutes as 22 is now the number. 2 more confirmed. We'll talk about those numbers in that forecast in just the minutes ahead. Ben?
Wow, unbelievable. Still confirming tornadoes. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. New this morning, in what she described.
Welcome back. We are showing our final photo of the day this week, and this one was taken of the sunset last night. Great sunsets all across the region. This one taken by Chelsea in Skyline Drive in Kirkland. Great shot right there. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send a link right there on top of your screen, wktv.com/weather/pics. Well, going back to our tornado coverage, again, I know it's been a very busy stretch, but yet again, we're adding 2 more tornadoes to that July count. We're now at 22, which is, of course, still shattering the record of which was 13 set back in 92 and 98. The 2 additional tornadoes happened yesterday, or at least it's happened earlier on in Oswego County and in Fulton County. So 2 separate tornadoes took place, and there still could be more surveys. Again, these are just they're individual teams in Binghamton, Albany, and Buffalo, Weather Service teams that go out and survey these, and sometimes resources are limited, especially with the frequency and the amount of tornadoes we've seen. So if you are wondering if you're ever going to get a storm survey, it's difficult with the current conditions sometimes to survey everything. But to the forecast today, we're not talking anything in terms of severe weather. We got lots of sunshine and low humidity. We'll, of course, talk about that weekend forecast as well straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Happening today, County Executive Anthony Picenti will give an update on the tornado recovery and relief efforts. Meantime, Honor America Days in Rome was supposed to be Saturday, but it's now on hold because of tornado damage. Instead, you can volunteer to help clean up various parks. We have the sign-ups posted at WKTV.com. Rome, Clean and Green, and Positively Rome are organizing, and Ace Hardware is supplying the bags, gloves, and rakes. The United Way's Ride United service offering free rides in Rome. Lyft is crediting rides up to $26 each way. This is during the week, 8:30 a.m. through 4:30 p.m. If you need a ride on the weekends, you need to schedule in advance. We have a link at WKTV.com. Senators Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand have secured thousands.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. We are starting out the day in Utica with a few passing clouds, but that's not really the common sight we'll expect for the rest of the day today. Sunshine moves in and low humidity. But first, take a live look in Utica right now with, of course, those passing clouds. But those current temperatures starting out the day today at 60 degrees. Now, the humidity levels technically on the muggy side, but of course, based off of late July standards, this is nowhere in terms of how humid we usually see things here locally. Calm winds and, of course, with temperatures remaining in the mid-70s with that low humidity, I think it's great weather to leave those windows open when you head out to work today. Air out the house, bringing all that refreshing, nice air from outside, and even leave them open tonight. Let in that cool air. Maybe don't even need that fan at all. It'll be just cool enough with temperatures in the 50s and some spots in the 40s. The radar right now is pretty quiet. You got temperatures keeping things cool here locally with, of course, clear skies, just some areas of lingering light clouds. But as you warm up throughout the day today, it's feeling very nice to go out to potentially the Boonville-Oneida County Fair, or even some events at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, the monster truck event, as well as some other local events here in central New York. You couldn't ask for better outdoor weather. Not only for today, but also for the weekend. We got sunshine expected both days, temperatures in the 80s, 5-star ratings for both days. What a great way to end July. And for me, it's kind of shocking that only a few days from now, in fact, just under a week, we'll be entering the month of August. This month has just flown by. Our Skycast, again, starting out with temperatures in the 50s. We'll climb into the 70s this afternoon, a decent north wind, but not as windy as yesterday. Then this evening and tonight, overnight lows will fall down into the 50s, in some spots into the 40s, especially in the southern valleys in North Country. Then by tomorrow, we're up into the upper 70s to low 80s, a beautiful day expected, and the same thing for Sunday, although a little bit warmer. But take a look at this stretch of weather right here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all sunshine, all dry weather, and then we'll see rain showers and humidity start to arrive as we approach Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. And of course, Wednesday being the final day of July, we'll look at, hopefully we'll not set any more records regarding severe weather. Again, I want to correct, it was 2 days ago, the tornadoes in both Oswego County and in Fulton County as well.
So a week after Rome, we have another 2 tornadoes. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, very, very busy. Wow. And I'm hoping we don't add to that total, though there will be more surveys that the Weather Service is planning. So.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Eric. Let the games begin.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning. But first, the most important thing, the weather. And it's going to be a beautiful day out there for sure.
Yeah, gorgeous weather across the board. Morning clouds give way to some sunshine, and that sticks around. Doesn't go anywhere for the next few days. And the humidity low today, warming up a little bit, but won't be anywhere near what we saw over the previous few days. Well, let's take a look at those current conditions out there right now. 60 in Rome, 59 Hamilton. It's jumped up several degrees with that warming morning sun. And then, of course, zooming in more locally, we're seeing Oneida County, Mohawk Valley, upper 50s, low 60s, mid 50s in the North Country, and mid to low 50s in the southern valleys. And a live view of Oneonta right now, a gorgeous view of the sunrise early this morning, and the sun is shining. That morning fog is starting to whisk away. And the radar, quiet early this morning, and we'll see quiet weather for the entire day today with temperatures climbing into the upper 70s with, of course, that low humidity. And the nice weather today will stick around for the weekend, but how long will it last beyond that? We'll have those details in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Utica Police have...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. It's 7:23 and in the past few hours, a lot more in terms of sunshine has moved into the Utica area. Let's take a live look right now in downtown Utica, where, of course, we are seeing blue skies, temperatures starting out in the 50s to start, but now we reach the 60-degree mark at Griffiths and Rome, and noticeable humidity, dew points in the mid-50s, but this is not something you usually see in late July, 56-degree dew point. It means that the air outside is refreshing compared to typical late July standards. I would say open the windows today. We've got great weather across the board in terms of airing out the house, as well as even leaving the windows open overnight tonight for great sleeping weather. As we can see here, across the board, overall fantastic open window weather, and just in general, outdoor weather. As we take a live look at the radar right now, quiet and dry all across the region. You can see with some of the radar signatures here that north wind coming from Canada, which is supplying us with that low humidity. And speaking of the nice weather to go outside, I do recommend heading out to, for example, the Boonville and Oneida County Fair. Great fair weather today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So if you can't make it one of these days, you can see if you can attempt to make it the next few. On top of that, other local events across the region which are also taking place. You couldn't ask for better outdoor weather. And of course, the weekend still looking fantastic. 80s, sunny, 5-star ratings both days. And not too much to speak of when we head to our Skycast. Relatively quiet conditions. We got sunshine today, temperatures in the upper 70s. The only thing though is tonight with the clear skies and north wind coming to an end, we'll see overnight lows potentially fall in some spots into the mid 40s in the higher elevations north and south of the valley. But most of the area will start out in the mid to low 50s. Then tomorrow, a few passing high-level cirrus clouds, but overall pretty nice weather with highs in the 80s and lots of opportunity for sunshine. And that, of course, sticks around for Sunday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Warming up as we head into Monday, eventually Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, that humidity finally returns in full force with chances for scattered showers and storms. So for now, we'll enjoy the fantastic weather set in stone for this weekend.
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Did you write that? Yes, I wrote that, and you were very animated in the BEA Beautiful.
Yeah, I was. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm a Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage, who sometimes writes your teases.
Yeah, we have fun here if you can't tell. Also fun outside. The weather, beautiful.
Yes, and not putting it, or not exaggerating it at all. We've
No.
got great weather for any outdoor festivities today. Matter of fact, the ingredients for a top 10 day in my book, and pretty much for most of you that I can tell, would be temperatures. Mid-70s, you can see 75 in Rome. Humidity, or at least the wind speed, low, not too breezy, not nearly as breezy as yesterday. And the dew point, mid to low 50s, which is technically slightly muggy, but compared to July standards, this is very comfortable weather. So you can see outside in Cooperstown right now, gorgeous weather, the American flag lightly blowing in the distance right there. And the radar, although showing some light green, is just picking up on some more sensitive particles in the atmosphere. This is looking dry and expected to remain dry, not only for today, but also into the weekend. We'll, of course, have the latest details on that weekend forecast, plus what our next chance of seeing more late July-like temperatures, humidity will be straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. We turn now to a tragedy on the tracks.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. We are starting out this noontime with quiet conditions, lots of sunshine. In fact, let's take a live look outside in Utica, where we're seeing plenty of blue skies, but you'll probably notice the sky is a little bit on the milky side, not nearly as bluebird blue as we've seen in previous days. I'll talk about that in just a few moments. Currently 75 and sunny, noticeable but low humidity, and a light wind of 5 miles per hour from the north. Now, with the nice weather in store for us today, I'm issuing yet again another top 10 day alert for today. Lots of sun, low humidity, low winds, and that will continue into the weekend, although not nearly as cool today in the 70s, but we're looking at 80s and sunshine. 5-star ratings for both days. A beautiful late July weekend in store. Radar is quiet and dry all across central New York, and with this nice weather, again, as we mentioned in the previous few minutes, lots of activities taking place today, including the Boonville Oneida County Fair. Great weather for that. On top of that, of course, we're looking at things to do in Herkimer County, as well as some other events going on locally in the city of Utica. So again, great weather for that. To our Skycast, quiet conditions for this afternoon. Temperatures still in the 70s, cooling down into the 50s and potentially 40s in some spots tonight, before we rebound back into the upper 70s to low 80s by tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. That lingers into Sunday. In fact, look at this beautiful stretch of weather. Today, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll see increasing temperatures and humidity by Monday and Tuesday. A return to more July-like weather as we look ahead to the first full days of August. Now, as I mentioned, skies a little bit hazy. Now, this is why right here, there not only are some wildfires up in Canada, but also some significant wildfires out in the California area. And of course, that might impact the viewing of the sky here locally. But for now, we're not looking at anything like what we saw last June that severely
apocalyptic.
Where the sun was red.
To describe it in a light term, apocalyptic.
Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on the wildfire smoke, obviously, but for now, things are not impacting us here locally.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. And as Eric mentioned, although the air isn't completely hazy here in the Northeast, slightly to the west is a much different story. Those wildfires sending out smoke, and it's blanketing large swaths of the country. The result is air quality alerts in multiple states. Evacuations are in place due to the Park Fire in California. More than 100,000 acres are burned in its wake, and it's spreading quickly. Officials say they believe the blaze began with arson and that a man has been arrested for allegedly pushing a burning car into a gully. Meanwhile, in Alberta, Canada, a different fire has damaged up to half the tourist town of Jasper. And near the border of Oregon and Idaho, the Durkee fire is the largest active blaze in the U.S. Disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein is in a Manhattan hospital.
Your forecast at 6, Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. You and I are holding down to 4. Beautiful day out there and evening, too.
It's going to be a great weekend, too. This is absolutely perfect weather, low humidity, Nice and dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The weather is going to stay like this as we head throughout the entire weekend, but there will be some changes. 75 degrees to the current temperature, dew point's 55. It's pretty comfortable out there. Tonight, overnight lows are going to drop down into the mid-50s. Another touchdown was confirmed by the National Weather Service today for what happened last week. This was in Shenango County, so our count is up to 23 for New York State tornadoes in July. It's just unbelievable. We're looking at clear and comfortable conditions tonight, looking at a nice and quiet stretch of weather as we head into the weekend. The weather is going to turn hot and humid as we head into next week. This evening, temperatures in the 70s, partly sunny, pleasant. You may notice a little bit of light haze in the sky over the weekend. Yes, a little bit of wildfire smoke looks to return. I'm going to have more on that coming up. Jason, back over to you.
Bill, thank you. After a lot of anticipation, the Olympic.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A beautiful weekend is expected. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The weather is looking phenomenal. It's going to be dry and sunny as we head into the weekend. A live look in downtown, 76 degrees in the city of Utica. You might notice a very light haze in the sky over the next couple of days. And the reason why is Canadian wildfires are going to start to impact our local weather. It's going to be very minor. So again, this is not going to be anything like what we dealt with of June of last year, but we might see some light haze from fires that have originated in Western Canada. And there might have this might have a very small impact on air quality. Again, it's not a big deal, but it is something that's different. We haven't been dealing with this over the summer, but it does look like this is going to return. With that being said, let's not diminish the fact that it's going to be beautiful weather this weekend. Sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s, the mid-80s on Saturday, and then into the upper 80s on Sunday. The humidity is low. Our dew points are in the 50s, even in the 40s, so it's very, very comfortable. That's going to change. It stays comfortable Saturday, but the humidity starts to bump up Sunday and Monday, and it becomes humid and very humid as we head into the middle of next week. Our sky watchers, Bob and Clinton, 79 degrees, Barneveld 76, Fairfield 81 degrees, and Skenevis checking in with 77. We've got a northwest wind, which is caused by high pressure that will be moving into our region. And again, that's what's going to be driving some very light smoke into the region, especially the northeast and central New York here as we head into the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, clear skies tonight, comfortable, overnight lows in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a light haze late in the day. Temperatures climb into the upper 70s to low 80s. Tomorrow night, the weather remains dry, comfortable, overnight lows in the upper 50s. And then Sunday looks beautiful too. Plenty of sunshine. High temperatures climb into the mid to upper 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 55. Tomorrow, sunshine, a beautiful day, 84 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather turns hot and humid as we head into the middle and end of the week. Temperatures climb into the 80s with a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the weather does start to get more unsettled here as we head later into the week.
Let's hope it's a little unsettled and not a lot unsettled.
Yeah, right.
All right, thanks very much, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, District 5 champion Smithers. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everyone. We have some new information to pass along tonight. National Weather Service in Binghamton wrapped up a storm survey, and they confirmed a tornado touchdown in Shenango County on Tuesday, July 16th. That was the same day where we saw the tornado in Rome. It's taken a little while to complete these surveys, but now that it's been done, we now add this to the list. We're up to 23 tornadoes for the month of July. This is record-setting, and it's incredible. That's a map of all those different locations. Western New York and central New York, as well as eastern New York, even a few of them in the Adirondacks. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The weather looks quiet. We're tracking a clear and comfortable night tonight, a beautiful sunny weekend ahead, and the weather looks hot and humid next week. Might have a little bit of wildfire smoke to deal with too I'll have more on that in just a bit. Going to bed tonight, comfortable. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. You can give the air conditioner a break, but you will be using it quite a bit as we head into next week. I've got to look at the forecast coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Less than one.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We've got a beautiful weekend ahead. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region tonight. It looks cool and comfortable. Overnight lows, once again, drop into the 50s. High pressure brings plenty of sunshine, but it also brings some wildfire smoke into central New York. This is coming from Canada, and we haven't had to deal with this yet this summer, but I think our luck is going to run out. There's been a lot of wildfires in the western part of Canada, and the winds are starting to bring some of that into the northeast. This smoke looks very light. It does not look as thick as what we dealt with last June. It is not expected to cause any serious issues with the air quality, but you might notice some change in the air quality along with some light haze as we head into the second half of the weekend, Saturday evening, Saturday night, as well as Sunday. And we're going to continue to keep an eye on that as we head into the next couple of days. Other than that, the weather looks beautiful. Plenty of sunshine both weekend days. Temperatures in the mid-80s on Saturday and into the upper 80s Sunday. In addition to the warm weather, we're also going to notice a return to humidity. Won't be too bad tomorrow. It looks like a comfortable day. It turns muggy on Sunday and Monday. Then the humidity really starts to build next week. I think Tuesday is the day where it starts to turn humid, and it continues to become more and more humid as we head into the week. High pressure continues to drive our weather throughout the entire weekend, again bringing us dry and warm weather, and again also steering some of that smoke into central New York from western Canada. Stern Tracker 2 Skycast, clear skies tonight, overnight lows in the 50s. Beautiful day tomorrow, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the low 80s. Clear skies tomorrow night, overnight lows drop into the upper 50s. The weather remains dry and sunny on Sunday. Again, a light haze is possible from wildfire smoke. High temperatures climb into the mid-80s. Tonight, clear, partly cloudy skies, a low temperature of 55. Tomorrow, sunshine, beautiful. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Stern Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A warm one on Sunday, 87. Monday, 87 degrees. It turns noticeably more humid next week. Showers, thunderstorms expected Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with highs in the mid to upper 80s.
Well, those wildfires in Canada may be affecting us. More than 1,600 firefighters are battling the California Park Fire, a huge blaze in Butte County, California, that's been fueled by dry air, warm temperatures, and gusty winds. That area under a red flag warning. The blaze engulfing over 178,000 acres. Sherelle Hubbard has the latest.
The term spreading like wildfire seems fitting of the California Park Fire. The fire burned an average of nearly 50 football fields per minute between Wednesday when it started and Thursday. Early Friday, CAL FIRE said it's 0% contained and it scorched tens of thousands of acres.
It's surreal.
Julia Yarbo watched on a home surveillance camera as her home burned to the ground.
Our house gone, their house okay, house next to it, you can see that it's gone.
Time-lapse video captured what's being called a fire tornado or fire vortex there Thursday. But one of the most shocking details of the fire, it may have been preventable. Officials say they believe the fire began with arson. A man has been charged.
We saw him revving his engine and his wheels were spinning.
The Butte County District Attorney alleges the man pushed a car that was on fire into a gully. Officials say they think the fire spread from there. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered in Butte County, where the state's deadliest wildfire, the Camp Fire, killed more than 80 people in 2018.
This county has seen time and time again where people have waited too long and they have lost their lives. If the fire blows over, I can't make any promise or guarantee that we can get up there to save your life.
At least 3 firefighters have been injured. Residents who have lost everything contemplate how to pick up the pieces.
It really is almost a numbness.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Coming up next, let the games begin.